Boom. Welcome to another episode of the Role Models Podcast. Today I got with me the one, the only.
The man, the myth, the legend. First off, I just want to say, guys, I'm super sorry for running late.
No
I know
worries.
I'm Jamaican, but I
He's
do
on
not run
Jamaican
on.
time.
Listen, I do not run on Caribbean time. I promise you. I'm punctual, professional,
Yeah.
always on time. It got pushed back. I was supposed to come here at 7:30.
True,
Got pushed
true.
back. So things
It
obviously
was
happen.
it was one of those days where it's like things just don't go according to plan.
Because like I run a schedule, like a tight schedule. So like even right now, like I have a reso downtown at
That's what you
Maxine's.
said. Yeah.
And I'm kind of late for that, but I pushed it back half an hour just so I could be here. And
We appreciate you coming, man. It's
it's actually an honor to be on this podcast. I always say it's an honor for everyone's podcast because like for someone to reach out to you and say, hey, I'd love to have you on a podcast. And I respect what you guys are doing. You had my friend Ciro on.
yes.
I love that guy. He's a beauty. He's a legend, doing big things.
True.
Super proud of him,
Shout
what
out
he's got
Ciro.
going on.
Yeah.
Independent, which is
Facts, man.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
So I support him. I always did since I've seen him in the business. So I'm super proud of him.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, like, because I'm independent too, and like I see, like, levels as we just pushing it, especially in the Toronto market, and I'm like, that's like amazing to see, like, because a lot of people, like, they just want to get signed to a label, so I know how hard it is for an independent artist to keep pushing, like, for me, like, being independent, that was also another reason why I had to take a break, because, like, got to a point where it's like, I fired my manager and I was doing everything alone. And I was like, holy shit,
a lot of
it's
work,
crazy work. And then COVID happened and I'm just like, got to step back, find the motivation to do that again, work on myself. I ended up going on to start other businesses and other things, but
other things great came out of it, right?
yes.
Jay-Z said it, like he was trying to get signed by a record label. No one wanted him. He started Rockefeller.
True.
Biggest thing in the game, Rock Nation, right?
True.
So,
Yeah.
shout out to Jay-Z.
Shout out to Jay-Z. Life be like that sometimes. Like, your journey just, you learn from the things you do and you become something greater for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I'm always a musician at heart, like, and I'm going back into doing music, but it's like, the independent scene in Toronto is crazy. Like, so when I see people like Ciro doing it, I'm like, yeah, props to you, man. Because there's a lot of hate in the city.
Definitely doing big things.
Yeah.
And he's collaborating, which is good too.
True. For a
When you
Toronto
just do it on
artist,
your own,
yeah.
Like he's putting on other artists on the platform.
Facts. Going on tour with them too.
Yeah, putting them on.
They're doing
I
the
actually
right
did
things, man.
one of his first shows in Mississauga.
Nice.
I helped him, like I did the back end work for him, like promoted it, marketed it for him. He put on like the lineup of artists. I did kind of the after party kind of thing, so like it can make money and stuff. So
amazing.
and we've been working ever since. He collaborated on some like investments that I put in the business. So, for example, my brand called Influence. Our first event was February, Family Day long weekend. It was at Laval, did super well. We had an event on Saturday in Hamilton at Mansion. And then we had a party on Sunday at Laval. That was a party that me and Ciro worked on together. And we obviously learned the system of how to make money when you do those type of bookings, because sometimes it's not profitable, right?
True.
And it's unfortunate, like you don't want to go in business with someone and you don't make money together. It kind of affects the friendship, So
True.
we outgrew that and now we're doing bigger things. So super excited for the future.
That's amazing to hear too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love, like, whenever I see people, like, especially being able to mix music with business.
Yeah.
Because music is a business, but like a lot of artists don't think so. They just want to do the artist stuff. But yeah, whenever I see artists mix with business or like, just business in general, people doing business, like I appreciate their work ethic. And I appreciate, like, the fact that they understand that the real way to move to the next level in life is really through business. And like, just like being on that path where you're seeing opportunities and taking advantage of those opportunities at the right time, placing, and also like applying your knowledge about things. Like you said, knowledge is power. So working on yourself, getting this knowledge, applying it, because it's not just to know it, it's to implement it as well.
I always say that.
Yeah.
They say knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Apply knowledge is power. Because if you don't apply it, there's no
just,
power in
yeah,
it.
it's just in your head.
It's like reading a book. If you don't apply those lessons you learned, then what's the point of reading a book? You're not reading a book just to attain it. You're reading a book to actually do it.
True.
So I always say apply knowledge is power, like what you said, for sure. I agree with that 1,000%.
So tell us more about Influence.
So just off the cuff here. So I'm a nightclub promoter. Started in the business very, very young. And I had when I had a first corporate sales job, I didn't really like what I was doing. I was making a lot of money, but I didn't enjoy it. I didn't love it. And I remember Steve Jobs saying, whatever you do in life, you have to love it for you to pursue it and continue to persevere when it gets tough. And the job was getting very tough, very stressful, and I'm making good money, but I'm like, I don't love it, right? Like when I'm selling, I was in sales, and I'm like, I don't love what I'm selling, so I think I should do what I always love to do, which is promoting. Because I remember when I used to make no money promoting, and I still did it because I actually had a passion for it.
True.
I used to hand out flyers for other promoters in the rain, in the
Oh,
snow.
yeah. You've been out here
You know,
grinding.
I remember I used to go to clubs, nightclubs, and go in the parking lots and put the flyers on there and get chased out by security guards because you're flying their party. So they'd get mad and try to fight you, and you're just a kid, 14, 15, flying for some older guy. So I've done it all. That's kind of how I started out in the business, and then I worked my way up. And then when I got into the corporate sales job, I learned a lot about sales and business and marketing and branding, and I learned so much. And then I said, I don't like what I'm doing, so I said, why don't I get back in the promoting business? So I got back in the promoting business, and I learned everything through sales and marketing from that company. And there actually was a great company. It was Rogers, actually, by the harbor front on Lakeshore and Bathurst. Great location. Learned so much through there because the head of sales was some guy from Harvard,
Wow.
and he was a master in sales. And the great thing I loved about that place is they taught you a lot. Like there's a lot of rehearsal. It was like literally Wolf of Wall Street. You ever watched that movie?
Yeah.
So basically, you're selling digital marketing for Rogers that bought a company from the States, a digital marketing company. They just put Rogers on it, so it
Gotcha.
sounds better. But it wasn't actually Rogers. You just said Rogers Outrank, but the company was actually Outrank. Rogers just bought it and then brought it to Toronto and then brought it all over Canada and just put their stamp foot on it. And then you're just selling for that business.
Interesting.
So you learned a lot through it because it's all cold calling. You
Oh,
get a
wow.
sell, you hit the bong, everyone goes crazy.
Oh, for real? What the?
But it was serious though, and honestly, I was a top rep, and I was the youngest there. I had
Nice.
no experience. I was fresh out of high school. I didn't go to university. I actually dropped out, and I got that job because they said we see
Potential?
potential, yeah. Like we see a lot of potential. Like you seem like a smart guy, very passionate, hard worker. We could just tell by the interview. Like a lot of people come in here think they know it all. We rather go with someone that's not experienced and teach them the
True.
ropes. It's kind of better that way because some people have like egos and stuff. Like they don't want to be taught. They're not really coachable and stuff. I was very coachable. I'm a learning guy. Like I have mentors in all aspects of life. So I went into it like open-minded. I'm like, I just want to make a lot of money, do well, and just kill it. And that's what I did for a few months. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't really like this stuff. What did I get in what I always loved? And that was nightclub promotions. So I got into that because that's where my heart felt and my calling was. And I started a company in 2015. So about, what is that?
Like 8 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. And I called it Dynasty Events.
Okay.
At the beginning, I failed miserably. I was throwing parties, not making money. No one was going. It was dead. And I'm like, man, I can't do this by myself. It's impossible. One person can't run it all. It's impossible. So I said, I need to hire people. And that's what I did. And I went and I'm like, who can I hire? And I'm like, what about my friends from high school? So I hired, my best friend in high school. That's the beauty behind it. I hired my best friend
True.
to work with me.
True.
And from that, it grew into a real dynasty. We hired like many people after that. I made him a partner in the business. And then from that, he hired someone who hired someone who hired someone who hired someone. Then it just goes
spread.
all the way down, Now we have a team of, 25, 30 people, active promoters. Sometimes they don't go out every weekend, but when it comes to our main event, they're always there. And that's why we really sell out. And we just did a new hiring. We have like 200 applicants already. So I'm super excited for that. We're really trying to scale this thing to a whole nother level that no one ever seen before. And I'm super excited for that. And then basically, so, over the time as I hired people and I mentored people and I learned through other people before me, I gave other people the platform that I had, brought them up, taught them the game, and just grew like a real duplication of myself. And that's the best thing. That's what I learned in business.
Yeah.
Duplicating yourself. If you're really good at what you do and you get other people to be good as well, it could just duplicate the whole process. If you have 5, 6 of you,
Facts.
it's crazy.
Facts.
I read on
Exponential
YouTube.
growth.
Actually, I watched a video on YouTube. It's called Mastermind. Forgot the guy's name, but he's super wealthy, and he basically said, if 2 or 3 agree in something, anything is possible. But one person, you can't do it.
True.
You need at least 2 or 3 people to believe in your vision, and you guys can do anything you want. That's why you see these companies. It's run by one guy, but his team around him are like high achievers. You know, it's like you go into it, and it's like you look at it as a sport. Like you want to dominate it, be the number one at everything you do. Like I remember. And I said this last year. I was at a nightclub awards 5 years ago.
Oh, they do that? Nightclub awards?
Yeah, they do that.
I never heard of that.
It's like a mini Grammys for the hospitality
nice.
industry.
Nice.
It's been going on for 22 years. I think this is 23 or 24. I can't remember.
Holy.
But I do remember 5 years ago, I had a great run in the business. I was doing big parties, 800 people, 1,000 people, making a ton of money. And I'm like, yo, I'm on top, Went to this award, told all my friends about it, said like, vote for me, all this stuff. I went hard, my team was doing it too. Vote for us, Dynasty to win promoter of the year or like any award that we're nominated in. And we went there, we got a table, spent some money, had probably second to third most people there. And we lost, man. We lost. And I was devastated. I'm like, you know what? I'm not the best, And I'm not saying just because I lost or if I win, I'm the best. Because I don't think one award or even 10 awards determines that. It's up to yourself. Because I'm not competing against anyone.
True.
I compete against myself. I don't care who's under me or above me. I just want to be better than I was, Because like, no matter where you at, like if you look at other people, it's like it's not really tracking your progress, right? So I'm like, I don't care if like obviously it's devastating losing in front of your friends and family, and you're getting a table that you're spending money.
Spend racks.
You don't hear your name. You're like,
we already got this.
And you know what's crazy? I'm like, oh, I got this in the bag. I had a crazy year. We're doing 800 people. Which promoters are doing 800 people at the time? And we still lost, and we're like, holy shit! Like, how's that possible? But the issue was we're in the West End. Oh. We weren't downtown. So downtown is like NHL. The West End is more like
college football.
More like CFL,
Gotcha.
So or NHL or what is it? NFL. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's like the big league. It's like downtown. It's like where the big guys are. The big fish, not the pond, right?
Interesting.
So we're like throwing parties in Mississauga, doing 800, 1,000 people, killing it, making a ton of money, and you still lose. I was like, damn, that's embarrassing. Like there's a bad feeling because like people are like, how'd you lose?
Right.
You bring in so many people, and you think you're gonna win. Like you're like, I had a crazy year. Like I have this in the bag. Like I have a crazy network. How could I lose this? Right? And you still lose. That's the cockiness and the humbleness.
I mean, yeah.
Humbled the fuck out of me. I'm like, fuck, maybe I'm not that good. So it kind of made me do a shift in the business. I'm like, I think I need to be downtown. So I made that decision, and I put my heart in it, my soul in it, and I said that moment, like I went home, like I wanted to cry because I took this thing very seriously.
True.
It wasn't about the award, it's more about the dissatisfaction, like losing in front of your peers when they thought you would win. Because like after that ceremony, like we all left, like, yo, we got work to do, But you leave and you're like, we got work to do, we're gonna work super hard. And it wasn't about the award, it was just about like defeat, like having that defeat. So the mindset was just like, yo, we're going to take over. And that moment is like what I heard on YouTube. It's like, yo, when 2 or 3 people agree in one common goal, anything is possible. So I said to myself, you know what? I want to be the biggest guy in the business, And 5 years later, we've won every year. Thank God,
Nice.
Going on year 6, hopefully.
Nice.
Keep the dub. And now we're downtown playing with the big leagues.
True.
But one thing I got to say, though, just because I was in the West End, doesn't make it any different that I was in Toronto. I think it's actually harder because you're competing with a better market.
True.
Right? So like
already established market too.
And it's just better venues.
True.
You can't compare Toronto to Mississauga. It's uncomparable.
Facts.
Just like the shape of the venue, how much they put in it.
Aesthetics,
culture.
proximity to other places as well.
Yeah, you can't compare. It's just like, say comparing like Las Vegas to like something like not as great, right?
Milwaukee.
Yeah, like something in the States that no one really cares
No
about.
hate to Milwaukee.
Straight up. Hopefully we don't have any hopefully we don't have any trolls on here, eh? Like
Hopefully.
Milwaukee haters. Like
Hopefully.
it
Well, it's
goes
okay.
viral.
It's all promo.
It's all promo. More views, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think when we made that transition to go downtown and compete with those guys,
Mhm.
we're like, we're gonna compete at the highest levels. And like I said, I think that's when I got recognition because I was doing damage in Toronto.
Mhm.
And
That was a party?
like party wise, like
Oh, okay, you were killing it, yeah.
killing it, yeah. So, and we still are for sure. And to go back to that question you said, what's influence? So I was just like explaining Dynasty, how it created and stuff, and influence came about because, you know, I threw these parties and I'm like, yeah, it's great and all, but I'm missing something. And what I was missing was celebrity appearances. So I started booking celebrities. My first celeb was Vodka on my birthday.
Nice.
Shout out to Charlie B. He helped me coordinate that. And crazy thing, I think I was like, how old I was? Like 25, 24 maybe. Paid his manager 10,000. I could say that because it's like so long ago.
A long time ago,
you know?
yeah.
Paid them 10,000 cash. I don't know how I had the 10,000. I must have been doing really well at the parties. But one thing I want to say is it's really great to invest back in your business.
Mhm.
You know, it's good to like make money and like and save it. But when you invest it back, you'll see a return.
True.
Because I believe when you put money into something, you work a lot harder to get it back or to make a profit.
That's true.
Because I've noticed one thing. Rich people save money, wealthy people invest.
That's true.
So if you have a brand or a business, it's great to invest and put back into it.
Grow it.
So it could grow. Because if you just save money to, like, you know what you're doing, you just save money to save it, how do you expect it to grow? It's like watering a tree or watering a plant or a flower. If you don't water it daily, like how do you expect it to grow, right? Like how do you expect it to blossom? So I'm always a huge believer in investing back in your business because I've done it tremendously. I spent a lot of money. Like Vodka is just 1 in 20 people.
True.
You add that up, it's like 100K, you know? One great booking I'm very proud of is Francesca Ferrigo from Too Hot to Handle, Perfect Match, to Love is Blind. She was probably by far the best booking I ever did in my career because that was just a next level booking. Like, you know, she's from LA. She's originally from Vancouver, but she lives in LA. And how it went about, it's like, it's kind of crazy because I was used to just dealing with a person. Like Charlie B was my plug.
Right.
We did a lot of OVO parties, XO parties, and I used to just give, like he would just consult the deal, set me up with the manager, do the contract work, and I'll just pay someone. But for Francesca, it was a little bit different. You know, this is some Netflix superstar in LA, so it's a different type of ball game. You're not dealing with a rapper from Toronto. You're dealing with and I'm not saying anything bad about Vodka. I love him. He had a hit record at the time. It was buzzing in the city. Reason why I booked him, and another reason is because I thought Drake was gonna come. I said that would have really put me on the map. You know?
For sure.
Book Vodka, Drake pulls up for my birthday. That'll be a movie, you know. We still did 1,000 people the same week as New Year's Eve, which I think is phenomenal. Like, it's crazy that New Year's Eve happens to be on a Monday, Tuesday, or Saturday, whatever, and then my birthday would be like the next day or the following day.
Nice.
Which is super hard. It's in the winter. It's a lot of snowstorms that time, and we still pull record-breaking numbers every single year.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I got to come to the next one.
Bro, you're missing out. So as I was saying, Francesca was a great booking just because I didn't deal with a manager, like in terms of I just like call someone and broker the deal. I DM'd her, she DM'd me back, gave me her email, gave her email, manager came involved, went on a Zoom. It was kind of sketchy though, I want to say that, because you know, I emailed someone and it wasn't her.
Right.
It was someone else. And I'm like at the back of my mind, I'm like, they must have their email access, right? But at the time, I'm like, there's a lot of sketchy things happening.
Hacking going on Instagram too.
You know, like it's like, and then I'm like, so I go on Zoom with this guy and he won't show his face, and I'm like, it's kind of sketch, right? So I'm like, why can't you show his face? He's like, I don't need to or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, it's all sketchy. So we like came up with the price of what we negotiated to. I signed an NDA. Wish I could tell you. But it was a wire transfer, obviously, if it's that kind of money.
True.
But so we talk on Zoom, and then he doesn't show his face, so I'm showing my face. And I'm like, it's kind of awkward. I probably shouldn't show my face. And then it was just like we kind of finalized the deal, and then I'm like, but Francesca doesn't even follow this guy. Like he gave me his IG because I'm like, I don't even know if it's a real person, right? It could be just a finesser in like not even LA, like another city,
like Milwaukee,
pretending to, this guy's going back to Milwaukee, pretending to be someone that they're not,
right?
And then just take their money, and then just
That would
changing.
be crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So, so what ended up happening is I'm like, yo, he's not even following Francesca, but then she's following the talent company.
Oh, okay.
And he's like the GM or whatever.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, and they're following him. So I'm like, okay,
Man's doing detective work.
It's kind of crazy.
I gotta make sure the money's it's going to the right place.
It was kind of risky, boldy move.
Yeah.
Then I sent the money. I'm like, fuck it, let's risk it. What do I gotta lose? But then
the money,
yeah. And then basically, like, I was scared that if I promoted it and she didn't show up, that would just be embarrassing, right?
Yeah, facts.
Or I'm like, what if I promote it and she's like, yo, I did not do this booking. I was always thinking that. Worst scenario, I'm like, fuck, I just have to cancel it. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. Sent the money, didn't hear from him for 2 weeks. Went MIA because it was Coachella.
Shit.
It was Coachella weekend.
Damn.
That's his excuse.
The panic.
So I'm like, fuck, I sent the money, it's been 2 weeks. Everyone's like, so
yeah, it's
like,
probably a scam.
You know, it's probably, you got fucked. And then I'm like, I messaged him, I'm like, is this a scam? And he went so pissed and sent me a video of Francesca, like saying, hey, thank you to Deshae for booking me.
I mean, why is he pissed off? They're moving mad shady this whole time.
Yeah, it was. Like, I don't know if it's his fault. I think they're just busy.
That's another thing too. Like, you know, with these influencers, right?
This is what goes
it's
into
like all
it.
ego and like, you know, all like, oh, like, you know, what kind of names we're dealing with? Like, who do you think you are?
I don't
like,
think it was that mentality.
Yeah.
Some of them are for sure, because some people I do email, they're like, it was like they charge me more than Francesca, and I'm like, you're not even on that level.
Right.
But the people I worked with Francesca's like camp, they're really good. I think the timing was just off because they all went to Coachella, right?
Okay.
Like all the influencers in LA will go there, party, whatever, have a good time. So they're gone like MIA for a while. And then they finally sent the video. And I'm like, is this an AI video? I'm just so skeptical. I don't know. AI came out.
Yeah.
With like crazy videos. So I'm like, this might be an AI.
Deep fake.
And I'm like, hold on, like the lips are kind of off, but then, and then like, you know, long story short, she pulled up to Toronto.
Oh, wow.
That saved everything. And then she started posting it. And I'm like, okay, it's legit. Because at first they're saying she couldn't post because she wanted to surprise her mom.
Oh, okay.
So that was another delay of like just promoting. And you're like, okay, we're promoting it, but like she can't promote it. So it just doesn't make sense. And then she started DMing and then like responding. So I was like, okay, it's legit. One of the videos that she posted, like, or that she sent us, and we posted on TikTok, got like 400K views.
Mad.
Yeah, so she's viral, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Just her saying I'm gonna be at this party got 400K views.
That's
on
influence.
TikTok. that was her biggest influencer.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the rebirth of influence, because I got so addicted booking these celebrities because like the limelight's on you because like you're the only guy in the city doing it.
Yeah.
And you're not the guy in the city that does it with the club owner. You're the guy in the city that does it on the own. So you're booking these people
with your own bands,
with your own money.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you throw the party yourself. There's a lot of risk and like investments that go into it, because if you're a club owner and you do it, there's so much ways that you can make your money back. As a promoter, it's less, because all you have is like certain variables. So like you could have the door, but that might not be enough. Because if you do a 20, 30,000 booking, your door might not do that, depending on how big size of the venue is. The club owner could have the door and the sales, so they can make it back. They can make it back just in the 30K in sales, plus the door money.
True.
As a promoter, you get the door money and a percentage of sales. But you don't get the full sales because the owner of the club takes the full sales, right?
Yep.
And gives you just a like 10% or something. So it's a huge risk, but I'm a very risk taker. High risk, right? High rewards, right? So I've done so many bookings like that, and that's kind of how Rebirth influence. You know, that's where the name came from, because we're booking all these influencers from Netflix, TV show. Shout out to Shaq. We had Ghost from Power. That guy is a legend.
Facts. I saw that post.
That was a big booking.
Yeah.
That guy was my idol.
Facts, man.
I mean, that show was crazy.
Yeah,
you know? Like, it's unfortunate he's not on the show anymore. But like for me, that's my show, because he's doing what I do.
True.
The club life, like
True.
club ownership.
Fuck. Like I
you
see
know?
I see the connection. Facts.
Yeah, so it's just crazy that I met him for the
This
first
is a big
time.
rich town.
Oh yeah, that was the caption. That was the caption.
Yeah.
This is a big rich town. That was the
Yeah.
caption. I don't know if
Facts.
people caught on
Mhm.
unless you watch the show.
Facts.
Well, a lot of people are like, holy shit, like Ghost from Power.
Mhm.
It was my friend's birthday shock. He's the one that coordinated the whole thing.
Nice.
And then I did like the back end work, helped him promote it, market it, put the influence brand on it. And yeah, it was dope. We did it at Lavelle.
Oh wow, nice.
And then we did an event, the launch of Influence. We actually got Carly from Too Out to Handle.
Yes.
She actually brought someone from Love is Blind, season 1, Damien, which
Okay.
was dope.
Nice.
We had 2 events for that, and that went super well.
Wow.
And we got a lot of publicity. Like when you do these like celebrity bookings, it gets a lot of like PR
Yeah,
and
buzz.
marketing.
Yeah.
Which
True.
is why I do it. Like I burn actually the amount of money I spend on the celeb, almost the same on marketing.
Okay.
Because like
It has to match.
you want everyone to see it, right?
Right.
That's the whole point of doing it. Because
Right.
if no one sees it, it's a waste of money.
Facts.
Yeah, like it's like a record. Like it's either you spend so much on the video, but then you got to spend on the
Marketing
ads.
and promos.
Yeah, so that people can actually see it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just burning for no reason, right?
Facts.
Our first influence party was at Lavelle
Yes.
on a Sunday, family day. And then we had it on Saturday in Hamilton at a really nice club called Mansion. Super dope. We had Carly from Too Out to Handle season 2 flew in from LA, and she brought a special guest. And it was a huge wow factor because I got 2 for 1 basically. And this guy was Damian Powers from Love is Blind season 1, which is a big season, went super viral.
True. I remember that season. Yeah.
And a lot of people were happy to see him. Maybe more than Carly. No, I'm
Really?
joking. Carly's my homegirl. I love her to death. She was a great booking to have. She's very professional, very outgoing. We have a crazy vlog dropping next week. Can't wait. That was a dope thing. It was a lot of, so Francesca, like we had a vlog with her too, but it was more like, it wasn't a lot of behind the scenes. It was more like, okay, she came to the hotel. I got her in. People wanted pictures, videos, all that stuff. Then she went to her hotel, kind of chilled there for a bit. Then the night happened. Then I picked her up back from the hotel, which is walking distance to the club. Then we walked to the club and then showed kind of that footage, and that was about it. But Carly and Damien, like we picked them up in a car, like in my Black Horse, my partnership. I partnered with Black Horse Limo. They have a lot of SUVs, like black trucks.
Suburbans and stuff.
Yeah, they have the most in the city. So they're doing super big things. It's owned by, 4 or 5 brothers from the Middle East. They came down as a family, started this business, and they do exceptionally well. They handle all my celebrity bookings, pick them up at the airport, bring them to hotels, the full around. So the cool thing about Carly is like I was in contact with her the whole time. Like I didn't go through a manager. I went strictly to Carly. So like I made a deal with her. Like there was no like middleman or anything. There was no one behind Zoom.
No face.
And said I don't want to show my face. It was like I
Facts.
called her on Zoom. I saw her face. Like it was kind of like too good to be true. But I'm like, no, she's not gonna burn me. But it was like I never had this experience before. Like I didn't call Vodka and be like on FaceTime. Carly, like she FaceTimed me. We talked a lot. I actually told her like, hey, I'm starting this brand called Influence. You're the first one we're gonna have. And a lot of people are like, who is Carly? I don't remember her, but she's so pretty, and it was a good look for the brand because she has like 1 million followers and she was on a show. A lot of people don't remember that season, even though it was the second biggest season other than Francesca and Harry. But it was season 2 and it went super viral too. But like people are like, oh, I don't remember Carly, but I'm like, I do. That's all that matters because like the way I'm gonna market and promote it, people are gonna remember her because you're gonna bring up like skits
Clips,
from the scenes and show them. So that it worked out. The only thing I want to say is like timing is everything in business because when I launched it was like during like the worst possible weather. It's kind of in the winter, right?
Oh, wow.
And in the winter, in my business, we're a seasonal business.
Yes.
We are recession proof, which is good because everyone wants to go out and party, and alcohol is like,
Yeah.
you know how it is. Even though I haven't drank in a while.
Really?
Off the cuff, yeah. Trying to take a break, a little hyena.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, so like February was a slow month, but we still made it work. It was a great turnout, and like both events it's like exceptionally well. But the vlog's gonna be crazy because we actually picked up Carly and Damien and their friends, and we're filming as we're going to Hamilton, which is
Nice.
pretty cool. So we went to Hamilton, and then like we filmed like in the club, and then we filmed coming back, and then we went to an after party in Toronto. We filmed that, and then we left, brought them to the hotel, and then we went back home. Like that's a dope experience. I didn't have that with Jessica, you know.
Yeah.
It was just small moments. And then Sunday, like what's cool is she came to Laval, and then we took a party bus because I always do party buses for my events from Mississauga because that's where I'm from, and
Sure.
a lot of my friends are from there too.
True.
And shout out to Allure Limo. I partner with them as well, and they're the biggest actual rental fleet as well as limo company. So they have like a lot of exotic cars, which is another business, and then they have a lot of limo buses, like the nicest ones. Like apparently Drake rents from them
Oh wow.
when they first
Nice.
started. Yeah,
Nice.
that was his tour bus. So I use the same tour bus as Drake. Pretty cool, right?
Pretty cool.
That's why it's so fucking expensive. Allure, if you're watching this, please lower your price because I
know,
can't
right?
afford you. You guys are too expensive. I'm losing a lot of money. So she actually came on that bus to our after party. So like that's what I'm saying. She's so cool, you know, because like it wasn't about the money for her. It was more
Yeah,
about
the
the relationship
experience.
and
Yeah.
the friendship. And like, you know, a lot of influencers don't get that.
True.
A lot of rappers do. Not a lot of influencers. Who wants to book a TV show
Celebrities.
actor, you know?
Celebrity status, you know, getting all this like, you know, pick up, drop off.
Crazy,
It's
right?
like a whole fucking like, yeah,
It's-
they
it's
feel
a
like
movie,
a celebrity.
yeah.
Like,
It's dope.
and also like some of them are from like Canada, but
Yeah.
they probably never had that experience when they come
Never,
to Canada.
never.
So it's like, oh man, it's like
You're
a
putting,
homecoming.
you're like comparing them to like the biggest stars in the
Facts.
world, like how you're dealing with them.
Facts.
But because you do that,
They will
they'll
remember.
take care of you.
Yeah.
Because I
facts.
plan on going to LA. Like for the whole influence brand, we only had 3 parties. And like the future is to take it to like the States, take it to the UK, take it to other parts of the world.
Nice.
And, you know, book other people out there, whether it's DJs. Because the whole brand is booking influencers, partying with influencers. That's where influence comes from. So that's the influential part of it. And it's just the beginning, to be honest. Like our last event was at Bodega, and it was sold out. It was super crazy. And I think the reason why it was a big factor is because the weather got better. So that's why I did better than the other 2 parties. But we have another one coming up at Lost and Found. I just released it today. That's why I did it today, so I could talk about it.
True.
It's an all-white affair. So when this is
nice.
probably released, people
Yeah.
will know about it.
Nice.
Sunday, June 30th, Canada Day.
Nice.
So I've been doing all-white affair for Canada Days for the past like 6-7 years. Does exceptionally well. Always sold out because everyone wants to wear all white to the club. Like
Facts.
it's just a
It's a good look. It's
It is a good
aesthetic.
look, yeah.
You know, you look rich. You know?
yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
bougie.
The outfits are nice.
Yeah.
So I gotta get a custom fit from Dust of Gods. Collabing with the Influence brand. I know you're gonna talk about that with the whole clothing thing. So it's not really something I sell. It's more for myself, just to promote my business.
It's like you wear your own brand.
You
and
know
it's
what?
Like exclusive.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like I'm a all around guy. So I invest in the brand, but I also invest in myself.
Makes sense.
And a lot of people don't see it that way. They see it as you're wasting money, you're blowing money. But I believe to be where I am right now, you have to portray yourself as a certain
Facts.
image
Facts.
in order to be at the level you want to be at. A lot of rappers say that too. Like I remember Dick Crook was on a podcast and he said, you know, I could be rich and have a Honda and own a real estate, or I could buy a bust down chain, dress in designer. Which one is gonna help me sell to my peers?
Bust down.
Unfortunately, that's the way you
Yeah,
gotta go until you make it. Like I
Facts.
remember, there's a picture of all the rappers in the game, and they're iced out, and Jay-Z is just wearing a white tee, no chains, no jewelry, and he's the richest one there. He's richer than all of them combined. But guess what? When Jay-Z was coming up, he
Yeah,
had
he
a
did all
bust down
that.
chain.
Yeah, he did all
So when
that.
people say, "Oh, why are you buying all this designer? Why are you blowing all this money? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?" It's the image.
Facts.
And eventually, when you get there, you don't need to do it
True.
because you have so much.
Yeah.
But in the process, like you think and grow rich. It's not even a poor mindset by buying designer. It's like you attract people in that lifestyle that you want to come to your parties. Like, are you gonna go to Walmart and expect like I'm not dissing Walmart by the way. Are you gonna go to Walmart and expect people that wear Walmart to go to the club and spend 20 G's? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to Holt Renfrew like I do, or go to a brand that does custom stuff that's like crazy prices, but you're gonna attract those people in your network. That's just the reality. I know how marketing works. You know, like I remember I used to drive a Mazda, right? Nothing wrong with the Mazda. I loved it. I love it better than my Benz. Less problems, less maintenance, right? Less on gas,
Facts.
less insurance.
Facts.
I had, you know, like it's a cheaper car. So obviously I enjoyed it better because it was cheaper. But my business took off when I bought a Benz, you know?
Yeah.
And now like I'm going for another upgrade. So like I think things will get even better. It's not even about blowing money. It's all investments at the end of the
True.
day.
And for you, like it's an image game. Like
It is an
you're
image game.
in literally like the one industry where like image matters. It's just like, the same thing music. Like when music artists, have to like wear the chains, it's like people relate more to you. They see you as what you want them to see you as when
Yeah.
they see you wearing all these things. Like for me, like when I used to go on tour, when I used to like, perform, when I used to like pretty much live that artist lifestyle, I would always wear that, but I hated wearing all that stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like on
yeah.
my regular
It doesn't
day.
define who you
Right.
are.
On a regular day, I don't want to be wearing all that heavy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like I don't want to be like, looking over my shoulder. It's like somebody
Yeah, I
come
know.
a good
But
drag
that's a
my
lot of rappers
yeah,
live
you know
like.
what I mean? So it's like
Unfortunately,
it
that's the
wasn't
name of the game.
comfortable. Yeah.
But it's like that lifestyle is very flashy.
Right. And you
Unfortunately,
have to do it.
that's how it
Yeah,
is.
you have
But I
to.
feel like the people that live up to it and have that lifestyle do a lot better.
Yeah.
But obviously you do it in moderation, right? You're not gonna spend your last check on an outfit.
Facts.
Right? You gotta be able to afford it more than once to do it.
True.
That's the way I look at things. Like if I can't buy this 3-4 times, I'm not gonna buy it. And I'm telling you right now, like when I didn't wear like the clothes I wear now, I didn't have the money I have now. To be honest with you, I remember I used to shop at Zara, and I'm not downgrading Zara. I still shop there, but I just don't wear it to the clubs. It's more like
Right.
casual wear.
Right.
But like I wasn't making the money I was making. I wasn't having the clients that I have. I wasn't traveling with people the way I travel. It's just a different persona, right? People see you as this person. How can you go from that to that, right? It's just a
Facts.
level up, in my opinion. Like
Facts.
you leave the Mazda life, shopping at H&M,
Yeah,
the white tees,
Yeah.
the blue jeans, the Air Forces. Then you go to whole Renfrew every
True.
weekend,
Yeah.
3-4 days a week. They know you by your last name.
Interesting.
Sometimes they bring you in the back.
With champagne.
It's crazy. Like you go to
Facts.
Yorkdale and you're in there for like an hour and you come back out. You're like, what did I just do? You're in valet with a bunch of bags. It's crazy. But I don't do it to be cocky or anything. I just say like, I got there because I had to portray myself
True.
as something different.
True.
And that's all it is.
True.
Like Steve Jobs, like I remember he kept saying he wears the same outfit every day for work. But he's a multi-billionaire.
He already did it. So yeah, it doesn't matter what he wears
Elon
at this
Musk
point.
wears the same outfit all the time.
Mark
Doesn't-
Zuckerberg, same.
Yes, they don't dress like designer.
Yeah.
They don't need to.
Because now they are the brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not selling a brand. They are the brand. They are the
Yeah.
face of the brand. So it's like it doesn't really matter what they wear. They are still representing the brand. That's
For me though, it's like I don't invest in design anymore. I do more collabs with influence. So you're gonna get back into clothing. So there's this company called Dust of Gods. They do a lot of custom pieces.
Oh.
I actually posted on my IG. They had Neymar wearing their stuff in
I saw
Dubai
that. Yeah.
with Cristiano Ronaldo. And he's just one of many that wear their stuff. So you could tell the prices are outrageous. I do one of one custom, but I put influence on it, which is cool. I get influence on it. So I put myself with that brand,
Yeah.
which makes my brand bigger.
True.
Like people don't like see that thought process. They just see like, oh, this guy's spending so much money. But then people are like, okay, now your brand influence just got bigger because you just associated with another brand that's super big. So that's why I do the moves I do. And then now I got presented to be in a startup fashion week, which is pretty cool too. So I'm gonna do a runway with 8 models and custom pieces from Dust of Gods, but with influence, and do something crazy.
Nice.
It's kind of like, it kind of replaced Toronto Fashion Week. So it's super big.
Wow.
So that's going to put us on a different platform, right?
Nice.
And then eventually you could sell those custom pieces, like auction it off and stuff, like to people who really want it. Because that's what Dust of Gods do.
That makes a lot of sense. And you're doing all the right things, especially for like, marketing, branding. I've had like, talks with people about branding, but it's like you're doing all the right things. Influencers, the right parties, the right networks, even like, going to places that you shop and they know you by name, like they understand, like, that this is your industry, because you don't even necessarily need to promote yourself now. Other people do it for you.
Yeah.
That's influence. You go shop at, for
At
example,
least someone gets it.
trust me, I'm in the same industry,
No,
so
but
I
listen,
understand.
some people don't get it.
Yeah.
They see me as this guy is reckless. He spends a lot of money.
Mhm.
He doesn't save enough. But I'm actually an aggressive saver too.
Mhm.
Because to buy these things, you need to save.
True.
You can't just go and buy it. You can't even afford it.
True.
That's how expensive it is. And like when you start like spending money like that, like you want to make more money.
Facts.
I heard someone say on a podcast, they're like, I don't wanna budget myself. I want to make more. It's like it's a 10x rule. It's like
Grant Cardone.
it's like you don't want to. It's like, okay, there's one way of thinking,
Yeah.
and any way you think, you have to 10x it.
True.
So in my business, I'm like, you know what? To afford that custom piece, I got to do A, Y, and Z, A, B, C, right? To get that, because an average person can't get that. I promise you. So you have to really like outwork yourself,
Right, grind harder.
to at least portray the lifestyle.
True.
It can't be fake. It's expensive, and a lot of people can relate to it too.
Facts. Trust me, like Louis Vuitton, like just to buy one fucking jacket sometimes is like 7-8 grand. You know what I mean? Some of the pieces 10 grand. So it's like you walking out with shopping bags, you know how much you're spending. You know what I'm saying? So
and it's not like I'm proud of it because my family fucking hates it. My mom's on my ass.
I mean, yeah.
But I did invest into real estate.
You already did the important things, right? So now it's like you're building your business. I know, like, you have most likely a corporation structure.
Yeah.
A lot of these things, like, clothing and like stuff
It's
you wear
a tax
to do.
write-off that a lot of people don't know about. The car's a tax write-off.
Exactly.
The dinners that I'm going to right now is a write-off.
It makes sense.
All those bottles
when you
buy
understand,
at the club
yeah,
is a write-off. I just took my corporate client to the club, but really it's a birthday. I hope Ciara doesn't see.
Hey man, it's still a write-off.
Yeah, it's still a write-off.
And that's another thing a lot of people don't get. Like, when people go into business, when you understand business and you understand the structure of business and you have a good accountant, a lot of things will make sense on the back end, even though people don't understand. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't have the knowledge. That's why, like, I tell everybody, like, you got to get a business. You got to start a business. You got to, like, get yourself in a corporation.
Just something you're passionate
right.
about. Anything,
because as an employee, you're looking at it like, oh, once I buy this and I'm wearing it, I've already spent the money. It's gone. I wear it to whenever, like, it starts to fade out. And then I'm probably buy another one. But as a business person, you're like, all right, first off, I'm keeping a receipt. I'm filing taxes, writing this up. Second off, as a corporation, I'm having access to credit cards that are like, fucking limits of like 50 to 100K. I can spend this.
Those are the scary ones, though.
Yeah.
It can rack up pretty quick.
Facts.
You don't want that too.
Facts,
Hectic.
So it's like, there's all these things in the back end that make it like, work.
Yeah.
And like helps your brand to grow,
yeah.
and then you're using that to literally just.
And guys, money. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take my advice by blowing money on clothes and shoes.
Talk to your accountant.
I'm not saying that's the right way, but it depends on what industry you are in.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, like I've learned the hard way, right? A lot of people told me don't buy designer, and I blew so much money at designer. Maybe, like I made 6 figures in when I was 24. Probably blew it all, to be honest with you. And then I learned that, okay, I have nothing to show for it. I live with my mom. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm like, I'm buying all these clothes and these shoes and I don't have my own place. So I said next to that, I'm like, okay, so, and then I went in aggressive saving mode. So I saved in 3 months and I bought a condo by Square One. And then a year later, I bought another condo, pre-con. And then, so I'm at 2 condos. And then I'm like, okay, I could chill now. I have investments.
Yeah.
I have other investments as well, a liquor company that I have a partnership in. So how it works is we have Dynasty as the CEO of all these other companies.
So that's like the parent company, and then you have like
so then we have
subsidiaries and stuff like that.
We have other companies underneath. It's kind of like an umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
So like Dynasty is like the main corporation. And then you have it's like a portfolio of companies underneath. So it acquired a luxury vodka, which is called Snow Allure. We're actually rebranding very soon, working on that right now with our marketing team.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, we're going to be raising funds with foreign investors because basically the family of Snow Allure is from China, and they're in pharmaceutical. They're in multi-millions. Nice. So they actually supply the government there. and the pharmaceutical companies in China because it's privately owned. It's not owned by like shoppers and stuff like that.
Wow.
It's privately owned, and basically the biggest player out there is my partner. So it's pretty cool. And then basically he came to Canada and he had to start a business because you need a visa. It's kind of like how you go to the States and stuff.
Yeah,
get
they
a
give you the visa if you're having this level of investment or business.
You have to have enough money in the account, enough money invested, and then they give you your paper. So they all moved here with their family and stuff. I'm very great friends with them. We have a great relationship, great partnership. They're actually making me the CEO of the company. So because the actual head CEO is going to step down after this investment because he's really busy with the pharmaceutical stuff, right?
Makes sense.
And I'm like,
and you understand too,
I'm in
that
industry, right?
yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm the face of it.
Makes sense.
So yeah, I started that about a year ago. I had partnership in that, which is pretty cool to have. It's like kind of cool because you look at all these big moguls, you know, Jay-Z, 50 Cent. I don't want to say P. Diddy because I don't want to get canceled, but he was doing well until you know things came up. But
they all have their liquor brands or their partner.
But shout out to Jay-Z though. He's a great role model for that space.
Facts.
You know what he did with Ace of Spades. That was incredible because in the beginning it was more like Cristal, and then he formed his own kind of brand around the Ace of Spades. And I'm kind of doing the same thing with Snowlord with the influencers. So when I book these celebrities and bring them to Toronto, I'll get them to take a picture with the bottle, do some shots, get some content, some B-roll.
Nice.
It's kind of in the rider, so that offsets it for the vodka business too.
Makes sense.
And then we just have a portfolio of all these celebrities, you know, drinking our stuff, and that's kind of how you create brand awareness.
So, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this on camera, but we can always cut it out. So pretty much, what I'm seeing now is, in the back end, if you're using Snowlord, and you're getting these celebrities and you're paying them a fee, and you're promoting Snowlord, booking the celebrities is marketing cost.
Yeah.
That can be written off for Snowlord.
Yeah.
Crazy right? Holy shit.
Yeah. It's like chess right now.
Yeah.
It's like chess right now. And guess what? Snowlord actually invests with me in these celebrities.
Wow.
So it's not just me spending these thousands of dollars. Obviously, they don't spend the majority because it's my business, right?
True.
They're not in that business of booking celebrities, but they offset the cost of, you know, putting up some marketing dollars because they know they could expect some content out of it.
Facts.
And
Results,
this has been happening
content, tax write-offs.
This has been happening for about 2 years.
Wow.
Since I booked Francesca up until now. And we don't partner on these things, but they have like, I always allocate a budget for them to come in and invest just to get a return.
Yep.
And it works. It definitely does because that's how the other celebrities done it. They put it in the rap videos. They had every rapper post about it. We're doing it, but in a different way with the influencers. It's a different niche market that's never been tapped before, especially in Toronto.
Yeah.
And I believe I could be the first one, hopefully, God willing, to get into that. And the whole Snowlord thing is like, we're Canadian-owned vodka, so we want to be as big as Ciroc and Grey Goose and stuff. And that's a different level, different market. It's obviously a USA market where it's privately owned in the US, and those like margins on that is kind of crazy because we're owned in LCBO. So it's kind of just like a free-for-all, right?
So Snowlord right now is in LCBO?
Yeah. We're actually in 15 locations all across Ontario.
Wow.
So right now, we're actually going to expand once we do the rebrand. We're going to do a full rebrand. It's going to be crazy. The marketing team is doing exceptionally well to come up with a crazy event campaign for it. We're going to rebrand the name. It's going to still be Snowlord, but it's going to have like a new slogan just to like give it a new feel. We're going to put in the clubs, do so my philosophy is when you go to a club and you're a big spender, you like the show, right? So you want to have the craziest experience.
This way, yeah.
And if you're going to spend 10, 20 G's, you want it to be spectacular, right? Like you want it to be on the A-ball, because I've done it myself. And I'm not going to spend that kind of money unless I don't get the experience out of it.
Right.
So I'm like, I told my partners, I'm like, listen, the only way that Snowlord is going to actually do well in the clubs is if the experience is crazy, like next level. Like, you know, like Dom P is an example. They have a helmet of like a light up Dom P and like a car to come out. So it's different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said we have to do something similar to that for Snowler. We have to give them that experience because they're not gonna buy it. And I learned it my way too. That when you go into these clubs and buy these alcohol, it could be the most expensive one. You might not even like it, but because it's the most expensive
That's why.
and it
Yeah.
comes out the way it does,
Yeah.
you're gonna buy it just to show off. It's all about flexing. Who has the most money? Who's popping the most bottles?
Oh yeah.
You gotta think like a consumer, right?
True.
And that's what we're thinking, and we're strategizing and coming up with concept and ways of how we're gonna really blow up this thing because we want to be a dominance in the market. We want to be the first Canadian brand to really blow up and then basically take our talents to other parts of the world
Makes sense.
and expand that way. And that's how the portfolio is going to grow. We're going to be like the next Diageo in the business where we start acquiring other companies in LCBO or other products in LCBO, but Canadian brands, we're going to buy into it.
Nice.
And the same formula we use to kind of make Snowler go, hopefully we'll be able to do the same for other brands.
Amazing.
So that's obviously the goal. And I pray one day I get there.
I
Because,
mean,
the manifestation, a law of attraction is real. Like I
Facts.
manifest all these things because it got me to where I am now. And then I could just see myself where it could go later. Because I'm not that young, but we're getting there, we're almost 30. So
yeah.
we got to get on the ball. But
Crunch
we're on the
time.
right direction, though.
I mean,
that's for
yeah,
sure.
man, you're definitely like, I think, well on your way. Like you already have the partnerships, you have the vision, you have the goals, you're already doing it, you're already working with the influencers. So the roadmap is already there. It's just about how big do you want to take it?
Yeah.
Because that's really where the next question comes. How big do you want to take it?
Like lately, I've been watching billionaire advice, getting advice from billionaires on YouTube. I just search billionaire business advice and just use their philosophy. A lot of looking at Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, many guys, Mark Cuban. Like I look up to these guys, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, all these billionaire guys, Jay-Z, and see how they did it. Because they obviously started somewhere. It all started in the
See how
mind.
they did it. Did he do it? I just had to.
We don't want to get into that. But
I love how we're taking Diddy's name now out of everything.
No, it's crazy. Yeah. I don't feel bad for him though. What he did is wrong.
Yeah.
But that's a topic for another podcast. I don't think it's for this one. But yeah, so I search I do a lot of research. I do a lot of consulting as well. I have mentors that help and guide me to the right direction and see where I could scale things. And yeah, I just have a big mindset on how to grow things and take it to where it was and where it wants to be. And it all comes in the mind because everything is imagination.
Very true.
What you think becomes reality.
Facts.
Amazing. It's obviously positive affirmations every day. And I put that with spirituality too, because I'm a very spiritual person and I believe in God. So I always ask God, I always show gratitude to show him that I'm very grateful for the things he's given me and what I want as well,
Makes sense. You already know it's been another episode of the Role Models Podcast. Once again, Deshae Maitland in the flesh, giving us all this great advice, man. Like, you have to come back, man. I know, like, there's so much more that you would want to, like, tell us. And obviously people are going to be able to learn from your journey and from the things that, you've been through. So, yeah, you got to definitely come back, sit with us.
That's the goal. I feel like when I do come back, I'm a much better person.
Probably have acquired 5 more companies.
More grown to the portfolio, doing bigger things, helping other people grow as well. That's kind of why I love what I do, is because I could help other people, give them that platform, give them that advice, give them that help, that push to take things to the next level. And whether it's in my company or doing their own thing, right? Some people come into my company, start other things, do really well at it, but they learned a lot from what I taught them and apply it to whatever they're doing. So
it's amazing.
It's all about inspiring lives and helping people grow as well.
And there was one more thing that you wanted to add to the pot.
So one thing I'm working on right now is first club ownership for myself. I wrote this down when I was 19. I'd be a club owner by 30.
Holy.
I'm not 30 yet, so the goal is to get there. Obviously, we're supposed to get the keys in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Super exciting
stuff. So it's
stuff.
already done.
It's already done. Just got to do the reno, do the rebrand, all that stuff. But the guy that's the main guy, he's telling me, Deshae, you got to do it because you have a lot of potential and you're the new generation and you have a lot of you have a lot of people backing you, you know. So you think you can do big things in this business. It's always been a dream of mine to own a club. So if it comes to reality, it'd be crazy, you know. I'd be speechless. So
For sure, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna come pop bottles. You know?
so the goal is, you know, when I get back on the podcast, you guys are
Yeah.
like, hey, Deshae, how's that new club going? You know,
Facts,
and we could
facts.
talk about that. So
Facts.
it was a honestly, this went by very quick,
Mhm.
even though it was a long conversation. I'm assuming, but it was great. Hopefully, I gave you guys some gems. Hopefully,
Definitely.
hope you guys enjoyed it. I
Time-
wasn't trying to be cocky at all. I wasn't
Time
trying to. I
flies when
wasn't.
you're
I wa-
fucking having a good time, man.
I wasn't trying to talk my shit. I wasn't trying to degrade anyone.
No,
I
for
love
sure.
you
Like
all.
the thing is this, right? You're not. It's not like you're a person that like just grew up rich and like just had all
Never.
these things. You know
Never.
what I mean?
I
So
grew
it's
up in
like
Rexdale, Toronto.
facts.
Yeah.
Shout out Rex though. And I'm from this same background where it's like you hustle your way to
Yeah.
the top. And for somebody like me, the way I see it, bro, like when you've had to work hard,
Yeah.
things weren't handed to you.
Yeah. Definitely
You
wasn't handed to
should
me.
enjoy every
Yeah.
moment of it.
Yeah.
You should feel what people that came before you have felt. You
Yeah.
should be able to buy the designers you want. You should be able to do whatever you want. You should be able to not look at the price tags
Price tag,
anymore
yeah.
because
'Cause you
you will
deserve it.
look back and be like,
You put in
I
that work.
remember when I couldn't,
couldn't
afford
afford it.
this, because I've had a lot of those moments in my life too.
Yeah.
And trust me, man, talk your shit.
I wasn't trying to, guys. You know, I don't want you guys to be like, this guy's ignorant.
No, not
He's
at all,
not
man. You
humble.
don't
Honestly,
sound
guys,
like
I'm
you don't
actually
sound
a
like
great
yeah.
person when you get to know me.
You don't sound like one of those people at all.
I just, yes, I own a business. I'm an entrepreneur. I work for myself, self-employed. I don't have to punch in hours. But the people that punch in hours, keep doing it.
Facts.
Do whatever you love. And if you don't love it, you're going to be like me. You're going to
Switch at some point.
out at some point.
Yeah.
But everyone
then they
has a
have people
journey.
to look
Everyone has a
look
journey.
to
Yeah,
be
for
like, he
sure.
did it.
Yeah, why can't
I can do it too.
Yeah, because I remember I used to work at jobs and I hated it, but it was a stepping stone into something that was gonna transform my life. So whether you're a dishwasher, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a single mother, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, but just do it with love, do it with passion, believe in yourself, trust the process. Eventually, it's all gonna come because that's what God's like.
True.
What you pray about usually comes to intuition.
True.
No, it's not. It does. It's
It does.
guaranteed.
Sometimes it just takes time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate you, man, for coming on. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace. All right, bro.
All right.